Well, should we jump into our Wart Pipe rental for this week? I think we picked a movie this week. Let's
Yeah,
We did.
yeah.
see what's going on.
Let's head to the video store, grab a game for the weekend. We have the box art and description to guide us when we're choosing what game to rent. So grab your rental card because this is the Warp Pipe Rental.
What game you rent for the weekend?
Nice. Yeah, we switched it up this week and chose a movie. So we rented the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Classic for sure. Got the poster right there and the VHS tape. What'd you guys watch it on? Did you guys bust out the VHS? Maybe Dave did.
I like to I've lately been I do have all of the VHS tapes, right? But I've actually been going back to my DVDs because the DVD player is hooked up to the CRT. So it's kind of as good as watching the VHS without the scan lines, I guess. So I've been watching some DVDs and I popped this thing in. I mean, this thing 35th anniversary this year.
Yeah.
So great time to watch it. What'd you guys think?
It was awesome. I actually did rent it. Legitimately, I rented it using Prime Video or whatever. It was on
Oh,
there. I
okay.
rented
There
Oh
it
you
for
go.
wow, okay.
the $3 that it was on there. So I had it for watched about a third of it the one day, and then the next day I watched the rest of it. And I actually was thinking while I was watching it that I enjoy what we're doing here because it makes me watch the movie a little more closely because I know we're going to talk about it, right? So there was
Right.
actually scenes in the movie, like when Shredder first shows up and it's like the top down camera shot and he's walking forward and
Hmm.
the foot's all there. That first scene, I don't think I've ever really noticed that scene, even like really noticing the music and how really great it was, or even
Hmm.
like the end turtle rap that's not like the Vanilla Ice turtle rap at the end of it, like
Durtle
Oh yeah.
power.
right?
Partners in
Like sitting there
crime.
and watching that and hearing that and really taking it all in a little more in depth. I think that's really
Hmm.
cool about what
Yeah.
we've got going on here, in my opinion. That was just one of the thoughts that I was had when I was watching it. What were you guys? What'd you think?
Yeah, I popped
Good.
it on actually this morning and ended up watching it. So it's super fresh in my mind. And how you brought up music too, I was like, they did such a good job with the soundtrack, and it really helps set a lot of the scenes where the turtles will be fighting, and there's like a super fun, energetic song on, and they're kind of going at it, like when they're fighting with the foot inside of April's apartment, and then it just gets to that one part where the fire starts to break out, like the music changes, and all of a sudden it's just like this serious, like, we got to get out of here, this is dangerous. And it changes that fast from like fun going turtles, and it's
Yeah,
like, all right, let's freaking move. So I was definitely keeping an eye on all the music.
yeah, it's
And the
definitely
soundtrack is
well
great.
written. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I
go
have the
ahead, Chris.
cassette. I have the cassette still. I got it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it so much, and there's nothing like that, like, 90s rap that's telling the story of the turtles, that's so, like, simplistic, but, like,
Mhm.
catchy, and, like, capsulates the 90s perfectly.
And they're still doing that too because in the first Michael Bay movie, there was a turtle song, like, for the theme, and it was all based on, like, the story of that movie. And even in Shredder's Revenge,
Right,
Wu-Tang
Wu-Tang.
Clan,
Mhm.
yeah, they did a track, and it's all
That's
based
right.
on like, I think that original Ninja Turtle movie maybe have set the tone for having the future. Because then in Turtles 2, you got Ninja Rap, right?
yeah,
Right, right.
So I think that kind of, like, set it off, and, I think that was a cool thing.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I still have the CD over there, and I have my little Discman hooked up to some speakers, so every now and then I'll pop it in there and play the soundtrack. Because I mean, I have the cassette, and I used to listen to the cassette, but, CD, like, pop it in there, got that '90s rap, it's better than that. Partners in Crime was the band that sang Turtle Power, but there was another song on there that I think was, I don't know if it's better, I don't know. It's definitely a cool song. It's by Yeah Kid K,
Okay.
called Spin That Wheel. You guys remember that hearing that one in the movie?
Is that when they go to the Foot's hideout? Is
I
that when it's
think
playing?
so.
And you see all the
Yes, I
kids
think
and
That
so.
stuff?
sounds right, yeah.
Yes, yes, I think so. Yep. Yeah,
Which
that
was a
song is
super
great
cool
too.
hideout, right? I think we
Yeah,
talked about this another
I'm
time.
like
Like, yeah,
like
I wanna hang out there.
let's pick
Yeah.
out what arcades they're playing. Like I'm
Yep.
trying to look like which
Right.
one's that? Like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
They got that going.
No,
Playing
good they got
poker,
the skate ramps.
the skate ramp that's just like open that they're going
Yep.
down and you could fall and hurt yourself. All the stuff they like the Foot was stealing too in like
Oh, yeah.
Walkman CRT
Yep,
TVs.
yeah,
yep.
So they're not throwing their back out.
Yeah.
right? No doubt. Just, like, watching the turtles, like, and really actually, like, taking it in this time while I watched it,
Mhm.
not just it being on the background or something that I'm just casually watching, right? And
Mhm.
watching, like, the faces and the actions and thinking
Dude,
how
so
ahead of
good.
its time it was, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, the lips moving, like, just
So many directions, not just like "Brah, brah," it's like, yeah,
right?
like
Like, some of that stuff really set in on this watch
Yeah.
for me, and I was like, "Wow, this is" they put so much work into this movie, and it shows, like, really it does.
Yeah.
It's such a cool movie, just in general. Like,
That was a
there's so many
Jim
cool little
Henson company.
one-liners and stuff
right,
too.
Jim
Yeah, it was
Henson
Jim Henson,
creature.
yeah.
It
Mhm.
was Jim Henson, yeah.
Yeah.
All the animatronics, but then not only animatronics, but they had people actually in the suits.
In the
So,
suits,
Right.
right? Yeah.
doing all the fighting. But funny enough too, if people don't know this already, I mean, it's been 35 years, maybe you should already know this, but the actors' voices are different from the people that are actually in the suits. So I don't
Right,
know if you guys know
because you
that.
got, Corey Feldman is, Donatello, right?
That's right. Yep. But he's not in the suit.
Right.
No,
So I
Yeah.
it's
wonder
actual
that
stunt
brings up a
guys.
point, like, are they playing the dialogue while they're filming it so the turtles, like, know what they're saying? I don't know, or is the actor also saying it in the suit? Very
The
I'm
interesting,
gonna
actor's
I wonder
just
how
say
probably saying it, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that the actors are saying it and then they just dubbed it or something. I mean,
Yeah.
it's flawless. You can't tell,
right.
you know?
It's
There is that one creepy moment though. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah, when he opens his mouth all the way.
When
oh,
was it Donatello?
I think it was.
Yeah, when Raph wakes up in the bathtub and Leonardo's there, and then Donatello and April walk in, and then they start laughing, and Donatello laughs so much, and his mouth opens up really wide where you could see the actor's face in the mouth,
A mouth within a mouth.
creepy.
like the most paused moments in
Yeah,
the kid. It's like that's weird. That's
like,
weird. But even the scene with like the burning down of the store, right? Like April's apartment, right? She
Mhm.
has a store downstairs. Is that am I
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
there's an antique store, right? Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, this movie had all the action. Like, here's a question for you guys to answer. Do you think that this movie was too mature for us as kids?
probably. Mhm.
Probably. I mean, Raphael yells "damn" how many times? Damn!
Yeah, yeah, that was very good.
I mean,
And
all
then
the
it looked
Mouth
fighting.
washed out.
Right.
yeah, the fighting with the weapons. The Turtles 2 was rated PG.
Mhm.
This one was rated PG-13. It was rated PG because parents complained that the turtles were using their weapons. So if you notice in the second one, the turtles never use their weapons.
Right, right.
The only thing you'll
What do you
see
think?
is Michelangelo with the combat cold cuts,
Yeah,
or you see Donatello with the little little Nerf baseball bat
And then they
yeah,
do the yo-yo around the
and
world.
the
yeah,
yo-yo, right? And all that's within the first 5 minutes of the second movie,
right.
Right, right.
Which is
but they don't use the
a
weapons in the
great
whole
movie
second
too.
movie. Yeah. Do you
I
guys
will
have a
s
preference of the two?
it's tough. I mean, I'd probably go with this one here because of the darker tone
Yeah,
and it being a classic for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I would agree. Like, I love the second one, but the first one definitely it set it up really well for the
And
next
it does a
2.
good opening, I think, too, where it's not just like boom, turtles in your face. It's just opening up
Yeah,
with April O'Neil
Mhm.
reporting, and you're getting these glimpses of stuff that's happening. And
yeah,
even the way the title screen comes on and you can see in shadow the turtles
Right.
in the background. It's like title
Yeah.
screen, and then bam, they start jumping out. You're like super excited in the theater. Oh my god, Leonardo! There's it, and then they
Right.
each come out one at a time. I'm like, so
It
good.
is, like, really well written. It like, right that first bit, that first set of scenes, right, like you're talking about, Russ, where, April's talking and it starts to build that character and you start to build a connection with that character. Even if you never watched the cartoon, you weren't just a kid, you start to build that connection, you understand her character just from those, like, intro scenes and how that is kinda developed, right? And then even the
Mhm.
turtles, they've all got their own personalities, like, we all know they have the personalities, but it's well done. There's only a few, like, cheesy moments when you're like, "Ah, it's a little different," but, the rest of it, super well
Mhm.
done,
Was gonna
like,
say
across the board.
they do a lot of like these adult jokes or like maybe adult moments, but they follow
Yeah,
up so quickly with like a joke or something to kind of break that, like, so the kids still stay involved or not make it awkward
yeah,
for that. Where it's like, oh, he's kissing April, and then Turtle cracks a joke, and you're like, ha ha ha, or like whatever.
Mhm.
yeah.
So definitely fun with that.
No, for
And
sure.
this was the movie where we talked about this recently, I believe, about uh Splinter's origin,
Hmm.
Yeah,
how it's different.
Right, he's a rat instead of being a
yeah.
person that changes to a
Right.
rat.
So how did you guys feel about that? Did you guys see this in the theaters or did you wait until it was out on VHS?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I went to
I
the theater. I'm
I did
pretty
see it in the
positive.
theater, yeah,
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure.
do you remember what your initial thought was about that?
I was
I
probably just
remember
like,
thinking they were
"Sure,
wrong.
sure, I guess
Yes.
this
Yeah.
is how it
I
is
was
in the
like,
movie."
they're wrong. What is going on here?" That's
I
not
mean,
how turtles
realistically it makes
are.
sense because Splinter would be a rat, right? But like and the turtles would be baby turtles, right? And so then they would grow up to be human-like turtles,
Right.
and then Splinter would be a human-like rat, right?
But
In the cartoon, so he turns into a rat because I believe it was because he was connected to a rat or
He
something?
was, like,
yeah,
touching it or last touch it. I know,
Yeah,
something weird
something
like
like
that.
that.
yeah,
But the
yeah, so I think he
turtles
touched the
just
ooze and then
turn
touched that. But
right,
they touched
so
him, right? So that's where
They got the human
so in
aspect.
the theory, like, if the human touched the rat and touched the ooze, or they both touched the ooze, and then that blended those 2 creatures together, if the turtles
mhm,
just touched the ooze and Splinter just touched the ooze, it
right,
doesn't blend them together, but they do kind of
yeah,
play that story in the second one a little bit with
yeah,
those where they're not used. They don't, because in the cartoon, we like what Bebop and Rocksteady, we literally see them take these 2, like, punk rock dudes
right,
and
Right.
right,
blend them with the animals to create them, right? So that
right.
does make sense in the cartoon, why Splinter's human and the blending, but they don't follow with that in the movie, which does make the movie version make sense in that canon, I guess.
Yeah, because in the second one when they
I mean,
have
science, right?
right, when they have Toka and Razor, they're just a baby
Snapping turtle,
snapping
yeah.
turtle
Yeah.
and a wolf, I guess,
Yeah.
and then
They're babies.
yeah, it's
Alright,
pretty good.
what are we gonna rate this movie out of 5 stars?
I mean, 5 out of 5.
If it only goes to 5, then yeah, 5. If it went to 10,
Right,
10,
right.
5 out of 5, 5 out of 5.
Crank it to 11.
We'll see
right?
what you guys said. We reached out to you guys on social media, so we'll see what you guys said about the movie as well.
What did you say? What did you say?
Springfield, let's hear from you.
Over on Instagram, Lopez Drummer says, "The best TMNT movie I ever saw."
Lopez is right.
We got Ty Gaming says, "One of my favorite movies. I believe this was the first movie I saw in theaters." Nice.
Nice.
That's a good way to kick off your first movie experience.
Mm,
Right.
Let's see. Nothing from the reels there, so we'll jump over to our YouTube community page as well. If you guys want to follow us on there, the weekly Warp Pipe on YouTube. And we have that little community tab where we like to post some stuff. Got a few people here. Purge and Splurge Thriftin says, I remember going to the movies to see this with my mom back in 1990 as a birthday gift, mimicking karate moves in the aisle before the show started and just being memorized when the movie came on. I was such a turtle junkie back then, and I was so floored by the action and excitement. I remember also getting the movie poster for the movie as my other birthday gift and hanging it right over my bed. Such a
Nice.
classic. We got The Bad Guy says, my grandfather, RIP, took me and my brothers to see this in theaters back then. Obviously, like almost everyone, we lived and died TMNT. As a kid, I never appreciated this movie as it was more dark and serious than the others. But as an adult, I will say with confidence this is by far the best TMNT movie ever made to date. And honestly, I don't think it's even close. Nice, nice. We got Patty Collector says, continuing the trend of 80s kids movies that were actually too adult for kids. Not a bad way. It's smart and dark. Theaters actually gave out small turtle plushes to everyone who saw it. They should bring that kind of thing back.
Hmm.
Funny enough, side note with that, when I was at the theater seeing this, I distinctly remember my dad playing the claw machine
Mhm.
and winning turtle plushes. And I got just 3 of them. We couldn't get the full set, so I'm missing
Oh,
one of the turtle plushes.
You still have them?
Yeah, somewhere. I
Oh,
definitely still
nice.
have them, so I'll have to get the 4th one on eBay.
Nice.
And Mike says, I remember going to see it in 1990 at a little movie theater in our city. I really liked it, but I thought the lack of action and secondary characters really affected what could have been a great movie. Still,
Hmm.
I love it because it's turtles. And
You
then,
know, another thing about this movie that I just thought of, this the first actually all 3 of them
mhm.
came out at the end of March on their whatever year they came out. So I remember I saw the 3 of these movies, Turtles 1, 2, and 3. I remember distinctly it was my dad took us to see them on Easter, all 3 of them on an Easter Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So, bit of trivia, I guess, like, it
that's
was
cool.
released they were all released at the end of March, which coincided with Easter.
Nice.
Yeah.
I dig it. So check it out. It was a fun time for sure. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What are we getting into next week, Dave?
Yeah, so next week, guys, we're gonna have a special guest, and our special guest has picked an N64 game called and I hope I'm not butchering this because 'cause I'm not familiar with this game, so this will be a fresh play for me. Armorine's Project Swarm. So I don't know if you guys have played this, but I have not.
Or not, no.
Nope, me either.
This is gonna be a new experience for all of us. But it is picked by our guest, which we'll announce later in the show.
You gotta stick around.
Stick around to the end to find
Watch
out.
till the end.
There you go.
N64 game.